Hello, hello, hello. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. How y'all doing? I hope that your February is rocking and rolling and that you are really stepping into your purpose, making space for yourself, showing up, being consistent, and doing all the things, right? January was a great test run. We learned some stuff in January. Now let's keep activating in February. And so I've been kind of bewildered. I don't even want to say bewildered, but it's been so disheartening to go on LinkedIn and see how many people have been impacted by layoffs, and layoffs from quote unquote big companies or good jobs, spaces where you just want to be there, or what is it, organizations that claim to be harder to get a job there than Harvard, and seeing how many people are putting the open to work icon on their LinkedIn, and really um, having been through that, having been through a layoff, having been through a space of uncertainty, and being blindsided by that, um, my heart goes out to those who are experiencing that layoff, and just want to say that you're more than enough. Don't rush into your next thing. Take your time to really decide what's best for you. And I know that's easier said than done when we're not under any financial pressures or concerns. But also, we used to call it, as I worked in public relations before I transitioned into coaching. We used to call it fun employment. That we still try to have fun and make the best of having the flexibility and go to the zoo, go to the museums, go, everything's got a free day, and just really experience things that we normally wouldn't have time for during our lull between moving from one position to the other. So my heart goes out to you, and if there's anything that we can do to support you, we are here. But what I really wanted to dedicate the rest of the month of February to was the idea of, if there's ever a time to get serious about your side hustle, if there's ever a time to recommit yourself, if there's ever a time to really turn up the heat on it, I would say now is that time. Now is that time. Um, And so our theme for the rest of February is really the idea of falling more in love with your side hustle. And so today I just want to kind of start with some really um, a really interesting bits that I just want you to noodle on, and then we'll talk more about time management. We'll talk about getting support while you scale. But today I want to just talk about some real fundamental things that you know I want to reiterate, because you've probably heard me say these things multiple times, because I really don't say no new stuff. But like, for my side hustlers, um, I am proof that it is possible. Now, I started at Success Bully almost 6 years ago. Six years? About 6 years ago. And at the time, I was in, but I literally got a new job. Start date was pushed back. I had quit my old job, couldn't get my old job back. So I was in this limbo. And then the new job started. And so then I was building Success Bully while working full time and traveling all over, late nights, early mornings, all that stuff. And so what I know about that time of uncertainty for me, that time of uncertainty for me was that I did not want to put my livelihood in the hands of somebody else. It was like having the rug pulled out from underneath me. It was so frustrating that I didn't want to be in that position again, where I was trying to figure out how to cover my basic expenses, right? And so where you run out of savings before you're running low on savings before your next thing and all this stuff. I don't want to be there again. And so I have experienced this. So I have experience working full time and showing up in the space of your corporate career, as well as showing up for your clients and then making that transition out. You know, it is possible, but I am going to tell you, it does take some some really, it really takes a little bit of soul searching, right? And so I kind of broke this down into three things I want you to consider, right? And so I want you to consider, first thing, when we're talking about falling more in love with your side hustle, the first thing I want you to do is to really think about serving with clarity. And what do I mean by that? I hear this a lot, and I had a couple calls about this today, about taking on projects because you wanted the money, or it wasn't exactly what you normally do, or you thought it would be a good experience, you thought you would build a relationship, or you taking on just taking on stuff, right? And that happens as a side hustler, and it does happen in when you are a full-time entrepreneur as well. So this is why I want to say, I want you to serve with clarity. And so I want you to get really clear about what you enjoy doing and who you enjoy working with. Get really clear about that, right? What's your secret sauce? What's your magic? What is that thing that that lights you up, that you've probably been doing for free before you decided to turn on your open sign? Like, what is that thing you really enjoy doing, and who do you want to work with? Who is your, as we like to call it, that platinum potential client? Who is that client? What's that niche? Who do you serve? Because you can't help everybody. So whether you're a consultant, a coach, an accountant, like a lawyer, you can't help everybody. So you want to be clear about what you like to do and who you want to do that with. So you don't find yourself stitching together these projects that don't make sense, or stitching together, tolerating clients, and feeling like you got the short end of the stick because you said yes to something that doesn't make sense for you. Okay. So you got to get that clarity. And I think that when you are working full time, there's no harm, no foul. But if you continue that behavior and you transition out, that can damage your business, right? So, one thing that I will say about entrepreneurship, it is dynamic. And so there is some testing. You don't always know the types of clients you don't want to work with, or that you do want to work with, until you've actually experienced it, right? And so it's always interesting, and you can make it whatever you want to be. It is your business. So don't do things you don't like. Don't work on projects you don't like. Don't work on with people that want to nickel and dime you, or people that have bad attitudes, or people that don't take your advice, or don't stick to timelines, or don't deliver their part so that you can do your part. You can design this. And so that's why I say I want you to serve with clarity. Serve with clarity. What is it you want to do? What is it you really enjoy doing? And who do you want to work with, serve? And we have a whole bunch of other training around, like, identifying that potential platinum client and what that needs to look like for you. But yeah, you don't have to take on things you don't like, and you don't have to say yes to things because you need the money, right? Serve with clarity. The second thing I want you to consider is showing up consistently. Showing up consistently. And what I mean by that is that, like, it's so easy when you are it's so easy when you're employed, when you have a check on the 1st and the 15th, or the 15th and the 30th, whenever your check comes. It's so easy to pick up your side hustle and put it down. To pick it up, put it down. This week I'm really busy at work. I don't have time for my business. Or, we have our performance reviews are coming up, so I don't have time for my business. Or I'm tired from work. I don't have time for my business. Or I'm only going to work on this on the weekend, and then here comes the weekend and you'd rather go to brunch. So I want you to show up consistently for your side hustle, because consistency and discipline will build your business empire brick by brick. If you are serious about scaling your side hustle, if you're serious about giving entrepreneurship a full go, that's something that's not going to change. You have got to be consistent and you've got to be disciplined. Do you know how hard it is to be disciplined about your day to day when you don't have a boss to report to? So you have to be your boss right now. And what keep a schedule, right? Commit to showing up. Commit to doing the work. Touch it daily. Like I know that there are some folks that are like, I only work on my business on the weekends. Well, you're not giving yourself the power of momentum. I would rather you do a baby step daily than 5 big steps on the weekend, right? Because you don't give yourself time to build momentum, to get into a rhythm. As you know, it's all when you don't have clients or customers, the work is different because all of your work is focused on getting new clients. But now when you get some clients, you still got to do the work to get more clients, right? And so that discipline and consistency, again, show up consistently. So I want you to serve with clarity. So be real clear about what you like to do. What you like to do. Be really clear about who you want to work with, and then show up consistently. Show up consistently. I like to quote. This is on. When I get notable quotables, I put it on my monitor. I put it on a little post-it note on my monitor. So when I have a conversation with someone and they say something that inspires me, I write it on the post-it note and I put it on my monitor. And so special shout out to a wonderful client and friend, Erica Miller, who said, "You've got to use your glow to get the dough." So it's, you know, when you're thinking about that thing you like doing or that thing you want to do, um that you already have it. It's already something you enjoy doing. It's already something that you probably have a lot of expertise in. So like choose wisely. So the last thing I want to impart to you, as we're going to continue to explore this space of falling more in love with your side hustle, is the idea of stop charging hobbyist prices. Stop charging like this is a side hustle. Stop charging like you are selling t-shirts out the back of your trunk at a Walmart. Some of y'all not gonna get that reference. But stop acting like you bootlegging or you selling mixtapes. You are a professional, therefore you should charge and deliver professional services. Right? So stop charging like this is just fun for you. Start charging and 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 positioning your services as if this is your full-time job. Don't wait to do an incredible increase when you've transitioned out, or worse, you've lost your job and now you have to rely on your side hustle. I want you are a professional. And I will say that in some spaces, if you're priced too low, most space, if you're priced too low, it doesn't denote expertise, right? It's like, well, wait a minute now. If this person over here charges $300 an hour and you're charging $50 an hour, I am really confused on the type of quality I'm going to get, because now I'll probably have to pay you and then end up paying that person that costs $300 an hour to fix your $50 an hour mistakes. So price like you're an expert, price like this is your full-time job. You know, how you start is how you finish. So if a client right out of the gate starts nickel and diming your budget, don't reduce your fees, reduce what you can provide them to match their budget. But also know that if they're, spinning around about the money parts, they're more likely to be the people that don't pay their invoices, that will have outstanding payments, who credit cards will get declined, like, right? So that's a pro tip. I went on a tangent there. So when you raise the investment to work with you, you will bring in better quality clients and more revenue for the same amount of work. You'll get clients that'll say, "Yeah, send me the invoice," as opposed to, "Now, wait a minute, what do I get for that? And can I break that into 35 payments?" And then I'm gonna be late with 33 of the 35, right? So I really want you to think about this and noodle on, if this is the year, if if you're in a space right now where you could get called into one of those meetings, or you have been called into one of those meetings, you can recommit yourself today, and you can make your side hustle your main hustle at any given time. One of the things that I fondly recall in my transitioning out, when I made up my mind that I was done with corporate and it was time, I had hit my ceiling, and like I said, the rug had been pulled out from up under me. I was left in a real pickle, left high and dry. Um, when my business was rocking and rolling, while I was still working, I could sit in meetings and I had a higher tolerance for those meetings because I'm like, yeah, I don't have to be here. You know, this is an eccentric hobby. And you'll start, your emotional investment in your job becomes less deep and all consuming when you have something else going on outside of work, right? Or you don't personalize slights, or at one point I was, oh, don't give me no promotion. I don't need all that responsibility, because I need all the time I can get for my business. Don't give me no promotion. Like, I'm like, whoa, no, I do not want the head of comms. No, no, no. I don't want that job. So yeah, so I want you to really consider, if you're in the space where and now it's go time, or you don't want to be, you know, put in a space where you're trying to figure out how to cover your Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your food, your shelter, and your psychological safety. Like, if you don't want to be put in that position because the economy is topsy and turvy, I want to encourage you to recommit to your side hustle right now. And it's so funny. I doubt that my sister actually watches this. We were having a conversation while I was kind of sketching out my notes for this live stream, and I said, "How does this sound?" And my sister was like, "Will you help me recommit to my side hustle?" Yeah, I need to be more consistent, Kitty. I'm like, yeah. So, the fact that I would have that tough conversation with my sister, I'm willing to have that tough conversation with you too. And this is what it looks like to scale out. This is what it looks like. So just to recap my points, I want you to serve with clarity. So be really clear about what you do and who you do it with. I want you to show up consistently. Discipline and consistency will help you literally lay the foundation for your business empire, and then brick by brick, every step of the way, every next level in your business, it is going to require discipline and consistency from you. So get used to it now, because it doesn't go away, right? And then stop charging like this is a hobby. Stop charging like this is a plaything. Charge like it's your job. Charge like you are an expert and you are sharing your expertise. Raise those prices, because when you're thinking about how you're going to transition out, you can't transition out on $50 transactions. right? Because we talking pay raises. We're leaving corporate. I want y'all to give yourself a pay raise. Okay. So if you are really feeling like you're stuck on that pathway forward, on what you need to put into place to scale your side hustle, to transition out, I want to invite you. I want to invite you to do two things. I want you to watch this space because we have a big announcement this week. We're going to share that ties into falling more in love with your side hustle. We got a big announcement this week. We made some great updates, so big announcement this week. And I also want to encourage you to stop playing. Book a strategy call at successbully.com/call, and I in 30 minutes I will talk you through. I want to hear about your business, and we can think about a game plan to help you scale out. Now, I'm not saying go quit your job. Please do not put me on the spot. Keita told me to quit my job. What I'm saying is I want everybody that's watching this video, I want everybody that's looking at the snippets, I want everybody that's following our platforms on social media. I want you to have options, right? I want you to have options. I want you to decide, does this work for me? I can stick with it. If it's not serving you, you can walk away. I want you to have options. If you get that call or that email, or you go and log into your computer and your credentials don't work, which I think is so shady. You log in and your credentials don't work, that's never no mind for you. You already got your backup plan is already in motion. Your backup plan was going to be your main plan in a minute anyway. So I don't want you to get caught in a space where you're having to make decisions out of anxiety and making decisions out of stress and desperation, or feeling like that heavy weight of worrying about how you're going to pay the mortgage and all of your day-to-day expenses. I don't want you to be caught there. I don't want you to be caught there. So book a strategy call, and we're here to serve. And this is a passion point for me, having been through the layoff, the go work for the good company and get laid off. My entire team got laid off when we lost a big client. Like having been through those experiences, and having been through, there were times I'd walk out, and when I was living in New York, I'd walk out, get laid off, walk out. There's a PR agency every other block. I would be out of work 2 to 3 weeks. And then there was a time I went almost a year without a job, right? So I don't want you having to experience any of that stress. So, like I said, book a strategy session, and I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to expanding our tips and tricks and coaching around this falling more in love with your side hustle this month. So once again, I am Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Let's get after it.